Hi, Charles here. And I, before I did a list of things that are missing from the Bible, and I managed to leave out the biggest thing missing from the New Testament. And that is, of course, an account of the resurrection of Jesus. Why isn't there, why isn't there a resurrection of Jesus? You get to watch him die. After he's resurrected, he runs around and shows himself to all of his friends anyway. He even shows himself to Thomas with the wounds. So why not have the Holy Spirit send out that angel that brought in the shepherds if you have to, but bring all of his friends to come and actually see the grand event, the biggest event in history. And he's going to run around privately proving it. Why can't he prove it? Just proving it, doing it. And the reason it isn't there, I hate to break it to you, is because it's impossible to write. Nobody can even forge that. Because think about what a big problem it is. The problem for the person writing a story like that, if we had a first-hand account, they'd just write and tell us. But no, there is no first-hand account. The problem with somebody making up a story isn't the depiction of Jesus coming out of the grave and being alive again. It's what does he do next? So then, if he's just going to show himself to his friends that he's risen, and then what do? They go out to dinner. Let's celebrate. Well, then they eat. Well, then where does he go? Does he just hang out with them until it's time to go to heaven? In fact, why does he do all those other weird pop-ins that he does afterward? Where, where is he in between pop-ins? Uh, it says in verse 32, and they said to each other, were not our hearts burning as he was speaking to us on the road, as he was fully opening up the scriptures to us? So we have two people, supposedly, who heard heart burning sermons, as it were, from Jesus himself, the newly resurrected Jesus, the Jesus in the know. This stuff was so good, it burned their hearts. But there's no record of it in the book. You know why there's no record? Because in order for you to invent some heart-burning, Jesus-level spiritual message, you'd kind of have to be like a heart burner of a Jesus, even to fake that. Anything you wrote, it better be super red hot because you're putting it in the mouth of Jesus. So what do you know? They have this heart-burning, exciting intellectual experience, but they don't write it down. What gets written down is, hey, you know what? We met Jesus too. That's the important part to them. Nothing historical. Now you might say, oh, that's because the resurrection is the most important part. If that were true, why in the 6th chapter of Acts do you have this long, long speech? It goes on for like 2 whole pages at least here. It's one of the longest speeches in the New Testament. And it's Stephen. And he's just, supposedly, he's had this glorious experience on Pentecost. And now the Holy Spirit has moved him to go out and preach. But what he goes out and preaches is this big, long, long tirade that the Bible makes sure you know these heart-chilling thoughts of whoever the hell Stephen was, a minor character compared to Jesus. But Jesus' heart-burning words aren't recorded. His hateful, god-awful tirade against the Jews, which would be totally inappropriate on the second most glorious day of human history, Pentecost, when God's Spirit is released. Shouldn't it be a positive message of joy? And shouldn't he be chattering on about how great grace and faith are, instead of, you rotten Jews, you murdered Jesus? But he has to give an anti-Jewish tirade to advance the story. If he came out and spoke about love and peace and grace, then it would be really weird for them to turn around and hit him in the head with a rock. But that would match the day, but it doesn't match the story. Not that happened, the story they want to tell. And the story they want to tell is Jews are bad, Jews rejected us, we reject Jews, and we're good Roman citizens. It's all about getting on the good side of Rome. They vilify the Jews. But these are what tell you that there was no resurrection. It didn't happen. And they can't even really fake it very well. You get this, anyway. The resurrection, the biggest thing missing from the Bible. I'm Charles. Thanks for listening.